Hi everyone, let us now look at the format for your literature review. So one of the first things is your literature review paper would be in APA format. So I have given you some things here in the template. So remember to use 7th edition of APA. There will be a running head, there is a page number, the title of your paper. The title of your paper is not your research question. So make sure you understand that the title of the paper is not your research question. So you'll have a title, your name, your department, university will be Midwestern State University, course name, EDUC 5053 or 57, instructor name, the date. You have already worked on your introduction, so you'll put the title again, the introduction. The paragraphs have to be APA formatted. So that is another thing for you to check on APA as to how is the paragraphs, the level 1 heading, the level 2 headings, and so on. One paragraph, this you have already finished working on is, and you have received feedback for it. So this is where your introduction goes. Review of the literature. So whichever components that you talked about in your introduction are going to be your subheadings or level 2 headings for your paper. And within each component, you are going to talk about what is known about them, how is it known, the literature review that talks about what are the different researchers, how do they interpret the topic, and then you talk about all those. And then in the summary is, so combining all this information, motivated by all these arguments, this research will, what is your research going to look at or examine or explore? Some things to think about as you are writing the paper. There is no first person. There will be no I, we, us in the paper. Everything is written in third person. You are only allowed 2 quotes throughout the paper, 2 direct quotes. So that is another thing to keep in mind. Your paper, the full paper from the cover page to the end, will be about 8 pages, including the references. So 5 to 7 pages of your literature review, and then 1 cover page and 1 reference page, right? So I'm not really very strict on the page limit kind of a thing, but at least you've covered enough. So, and it is all double spaced, not single spaced, APA format. So only 2 quotes allowed throughout the paper. Keep the tense consistent. Either you write the whole paper in future tense or the whole paper in past tense. So those are things to be remembering. So if you have 1 page and you have like a huge paragraph that has only something about one author, then that is actually called a summary. It is not synthesizing. Synthesizing is when in a paragraph it is an idea and you have said what the different researchers are saying about that idea within that paragraph or within those paragraphs. So think of it this way, that if you have 1 page and you have only 1 citation, that means it's a summary. You have to have minimum of 3 citations. And for example, I could say Gupta says this and this, while Bernard says this and this. Okay, so think about it in that ways, is it is not a summary of what just that article talks about, but rather what that article talks about and how that is supported by others, or the others say something else. So this is what is called synthesizing information. It is not a summary. Your literature review is not a summary, but it is synthesizing information. So if you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask. I look forward to reading your drafts.